Hello, you hardcores out there doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here. No, the channel dare say. That's because they're all lickers, most of them. Yeah, lickers, but if you say out, you're jealous. Jealous? Fucking hell, half of them. Fucking, I swear to God, half of them. I just wish there were a couple of quid behind me. The thing is with me, you see, I don't have to put my tongue up people in boxings, arseholes to get on. Oh, we just tell it straight, don't we? Right, we're gonna have Max on this week, but before we do, I just want to thank all them people that have liked and subscribed, left a comment to our sister channel, Porky's International. Right, we're going great guns over there at the moment. There's 23 videos on there now covering other sports. I think the subs are up to about 405 or something like that. We're going there. It's something different in it to covering this load here on boxing and having to roast people, because starting now to annoy me, all these liars and vagabonds in the sport and charlatans and people. These are grown men, by the way, that would sell their mothers for £1 note. All right, now, let me send this here. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. What a book this is. What a book. A lot of people need to go and read this book. That many people sell the souls. They won't do it. They won't be able to stick to it. It's a bit like that Tazoo's, isn't it? Art of War. Have you read that? That's a good book. Audley Harrison got Frotch on that book. And Frotch got me reading it. That's a good book. But this book here, The Art of Not Giving a... Brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant book. And people should go read it. The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. A counterintuitive, whatever fucking approach to living a good life, Mark Manson. Whatever. I went to Edlington Comprehensive, and I can't read them big long words. But it's by Mark Manson, a New York guy, and it's a bestseller. He made a fortune off that book as well, but people need to read it. Stop worrying about what other people think. Be like me, get away. Go on. I used to be one of them. You worry, you know what I mean? Worry about what people think now. Yeah. 6.5 years with Big Ron, and let me tell you this, you soon wise up, don't you? Isn't that right, Big Ron? Somebody's told me Big Ron's next show, he's got Craig Derbyshire with 29 losses. Headlining. Let me just see if that's right. Let's just see if that's right, and we'll. I'm not going to go after Big Ron because Big Ron's got arse on me, but I don't care. I'll have a tear up with Big Ron any day of the week. Me and Big Ron have had loads of tear ups, haven't we, Big Ron? I know you're watching, Big Ron. Big Ron likes Willie Warburton and Phil Williams, people like that, doesn't he, on his shows? Craig Derbyshire, 10 wins, 29 losses, 4 draws. He's next out against a 6-5-2 guy called Paul Roberts. Oh my God. In Beverly. Yeah, that'll be Big Ron's show. I think Curtis Woodhouse's guy will be on it. And let's have a look. My nose is blocked. Well, I can't be saying that on here, but he'll be accused of me being on sniff. Matchmaker Daniel Francis, Dennis Hobson Jr. Fight Academy. Event name Battle in Beverly. Dennis, the battle in where? Beverly. Dennis, what's happened to you? You had Davy Day, Ricky Hatton, Clinton Woods, Jamie McDonnell, Stewie Hall. Dennis, the battle in Beverly. Adrian King's on it against TBA. Craig Derbyshire headlining against Paul Roberts. Craig Derbyshire, 29 losses, 10 wins, headlining. Adrian King versus TBA. Tony Curtis. Is that him who went with Marilyn Monroe? Dennis! Dennis! If I see you, Dennis, and I put this to you, but Dennis, what's that? Dennis, you'll crawl under the table. If I see you at Meadow Hall in Costa, Dennis, what's that? Dennis, what's up? Dennis, you know you love me, Dennis, but Dennis, what has happened to you, Dennis? Dennis, what's going on? Dennis, what's going on? So let's start from the beginning. Dennis's show. 1st of October, no, 11th of October, Friday, in Beverly, right? Ted Jackson, ranked 875, against Dan Belcher, 1,751. Dennis. Then we've got Liam McMillan, 1,187 ranked, against Michael Mooney, 1,422. What is it? A journeyman's convention or a move around convention? Then we've got Harry Edgecombe, 1-0. Oh, Dennis, this is shocking. Oh, it doesn't even get a star off Pox Rec. Dennis. In fact, hang on. Dennis, this is probably your lowest ever average ranked box rec show in your life. Harry Edgecombe, 1-0 against 1,337 ranked Harry Edgecombe against 1,440 ranked Casey Bradnam. 1 win, 22 losses. Then we've got Louise West, 3-1, ranked 1,343. Oh no, Louis West against Richard Helm, 1-38-1, 1,209. Dennis, looking at it, I'm a stats man. Everything you ever taught me, Dennis, right, in boxing, up there, you've just gone. Everything you taught me. We can't do that. We can't do that. You're doing on this. 1,209 Richard Helm. Then we've got Tony Curtis, ranked 134 from Some Like It Hot against 1,039 Jake Pollard. Tony Curtis, 10-1, fighting a guy with 1 win and 75 losses. Then we've got Adrian King, who I don't mind actually. 4-0, 2 by way of. Adrian King's fighting TBA. Then we've got Craig Derbyshire, ranked 184 against Paul Roberts. 6-5-2, ranked 80. Dennis, you've got on this show, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9. Sorry, 9. You've got 9 men with rankings over 1,000. And there's 2, 4, 5, 6. There's 14 fights. And 9 of them have got rankings ranked over 1,000. Dennis, what's happened to you? Dennis, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. But Dennis, come on. You're surely not going to turn up at this show in Beverly. Dennis, you can't be. You were tax exile anyway. You're bound to be in another country at the time. You can't turn up to this show, Dennis, because if you do, I'm going to turn up with a camera. I'm going to turn up with my Canon camera and my new smoker, and I'm going to put it on you, Dennis. And I'm going to say, Dennis, what is this? Is this white collar? This has got to be a joke. This can't be signed off by the board. Daniel Francis matching this. Well, we've got one of the away opponents has got no wins. The second away one's got 10 wins out of 122 fights. Third one's got 1 win out of 23. Fourth one, away opponent's got one win out 39. No, one win out 40, Richard Elm. Then we've got Jake Pollard, one win, 75 losses. Dennis, I can't believe I can't believe you're putting on that. I can't believe it. Even Michelle in office will be like, Dennis, what are you doing? Dennis, what's happened to you, Dennis? Told you, didn't I? I'm a stat man. Everything you taught me, Dennis, you're doing opposite. You must not do that, Russell. Sorry, then we'll know who's going to fight. If you don't put these, oh my God, Dennis, that is shocking. That is absolutely shocking. Dennis, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put your thumbnail. I'm going to put a picture of you on this thumbnail, Dennis, for this, right? And not out of bitterness, out of, I want to shake you up. How can you go up against Izzy and GMB with that? Dennis, and I know he's been putting some garbage on, hasn't he, Dennis? And I mean garbage, utter garbage, but this is garbage on another level. Is this where British boxing's at now? How can the British Boxing Board of Control be passing this show? There's other shows that are bad, but some of these have got one win in 70 odd fights. Oh my God! We've got Craig Darvish with 29 losses headlining against the guy 6-5-2. That is absolutely shocking. Shocking. Anyway, moving on. Roberto Smith, yeah, at the helm of the ship of the British Boxing Board of Control, the same control that have just passed that show of Dennis's there, which is, that's garbage, isn't it? That's Dennis's work. I'm not even going. I know what Dennis's average is, you see, right, on all these shows he's done over years. Because obviously I work with him, didn't I? And I know that this will be the lowest ever average ranking for it across the board, away fighters and home. Sheesh. Sheesh. But Roberto Smith, right, what are you doing about Gary Sykes' belt, you prick? What are you doing? What are you doing, Roberto Smith, about Gary Sykes' belt? What? Are you going to give him it? Are you going to launch an inquiry? Are we going to have some answers? Hey, because not only are you signing off on these, well, that show there is like a YouTube gimmick influencer, whatever you want to call it. These influencer shows, isn't it? That's not that show. There's only Adrian King on there worth his salt, isn't there? That's how it goes, isn't it? You're digging up Craig Darvisher to headline. He must be rubbing his hands with glee, Craig. I know that's in bad taste, that show. But people are going to pay for that. Jesus. Absolute garbage. That's what we're up against, isn't it? That's what we're up against now. The board are just going to pass anything, but they won't pass Gary Sykes for his belt, will they? I need to lay off the sauce, don't I, really, on a Sunday afternoon, but Dennis. Oh, God. That's a shocker. But hey ho. Good boxing bloke like Dennis having to sign off on stuff like that. Unbelievable. Right. Does AJ and Usyk free the rematch that Eddie keeps talking about, or the trilogy? Does it need a trilogy, that? Does that need a trilogy? Well, we've got Usyk. He's flogged AJ twice. You could make a case for him having 5 rounds, couldn't you? Not 6, but if you want to give him 6 rounds out of 2 fights, does it warrant a third fight? Does that warrant a third fight? Yes or no? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. porkycorner@mail.com. But I'm absolutely stunned. I'm absolutely stunned by that with Big Ron. I'm absolutely stunned. But getting back to Joshua Usyk, trilogy, come on. Eddie Hills, if anybody were on your case and saying, Eddie, come on, we want a trilogy, Eddie would be saying, what? Don't warrant a trilogy. You got flogged twice. You didn't win 6 rounds in both fights. But if I'll give you 6, it's still not going to happen. So why would you be begging for a fight with Usyk? How can you wangle Joshua in there with Usyk when he lost all them rounds? How? 24 rounds, you make a case for him having 6 of them. So he lost 18 or 24 rounds, got beat comprehensively twice. but yet you're saying it's a trilogy. Stop ripping the fans, Eddie Hill. Stop it. All right. Anyway, thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment, but absolutely shocking, that show. That's shocking. I'm calling for the board to take Dennis's promoter's license off him, manager's license off him, whatever license. That's shocking. That is absolutely a shocking show. It's probably. How can you go on, Dennis, about Richard Poxon and what shows he puts on, and that Ben Shalom, and then you're putting that on? How the mighty have fallen. Go on, peace out. Big Ron, give me a ring. Pop, pop, bang.